start at the beginning, and the beginning is that, you know. In some versions of it, some of the Okinawan versions, is a lean forward as this is done, which I regard as being kind of fairly significant, right? So, and some of the applications attributed to this are, we've talked about these before, haven't we? One is it's symbolising the oneness of the universe. Cool philosophical concept, not the wisest thing to do when someone's about to punch you in the face, you know. Please don't do it, we're all one. You know, you're just hurting yourself, you know, that kind of thing. Or the other one is showing the enemy you've got no weapons, you know, and again, why would you do that? Why would you, if you're about to be in a situation, just before it begins, know that you have the advantage because I'm completely unarmed. You know, it just doesn't make any sense, does it? You know? So to me as well, I just see it as it's a formalised flinch, a proactive flinch. So I can imagine that, you know, the story is that Sakagawa and Kushanku have a bit of a ruck the first time they meet, you know what I mean? And obviously from that, Kushanku will have a good idea of what Sakagawa's good at and not. So with no basis in fact whatsoever, just my kind of romantic mind thinking about it, I like the idea of, you know, when we had that fight yesterday, when I started swinging shots, you haven't a clue what to do. So you need a default move, you need a move, you need somewhere you go to when you don't know what to do. So all I want you to do is, when you don't know what to do, is you lean forward, you duck your head and you fire your hands up. You know, because in most cases, you know, that'll fly through the middle and it'll give you the advantage. So it'll line the body for a second. So it doesn't matter what attack he comes in with. The idea is, you know, he'll already sparked me once, you know what I mean? So he'll hit me or whack me or push me or shoot me or something. I'm in a state of panic, so I'll go to my default move and it's just here. Now, in that case, it will have hit that arm and it hit his neck. It could have gone the other way. So if the other arm had gone in, I could have ended up here. It could have gone straight down the middle and smashed him in the face. I have no idea or know what it's going to do. But the idea, as soon as I don't know what to do, is just whip it here. And this is where I'll get my kind of starter to move in. So is everyone okay to practice at the start with? Try not to make it like a block. So don't have your partner swinging in the shot and go, oh yeah, that one, and the next one, and this one. You know, just whatever he does, straight forwards and in. Is everyone okay with that one? Okay? Lovely. Let's have a play. So, shots are flying in, I come on my head, I slam my hands forwards. My forearm either goes into his neck or my hands hit his face. I also think it should look like that scene in Alien where John Hurt gets zapped. You know, a bit where the little like the pod just sticks to his face. That's the kind of thought we want. It's just like from here, you see. What the kind of then does is the arms start to circle out. In some versions, again, the thumbs pull in here. So one way you can see that is if I've hit the face from there, I just pull my thumbs in and rake across. So I may catch an eye. But what I'm not going to do is go bang and think, oh, it's my left thumb I need to go with, or my right thumb, you know, I mean, whatever it is. Just slam it in and rake. And then hopefully, if you're lucky, oh, sorry Neil, I got the cop off there. So yeah, I got really lucky. So 1 second ago, that guy's got the advantage. The next second you've dived in, you've caught an eye and you're getting this. So it's your way of trying to get back in from a position of disadvantage. When you feel the arm, so he swings in wherever it goes, so in this case here, I've now started to feel, there's a head, there's an arm. So I'm getting information at this point. You move towards what you know and away from what you don't. So as it would stand at different speed, I know where this arm is, I have no idea where that one is. So I want to be going this way, away from the danger arm. So the way I see the kata is it's going right, depending on what you know when you reach this point, you're wedged in, you start to move the arms around. Depending on what you know, you either move to the left or you move to the right. Okay, and everyone's familiar with the idea that the embisem tells you the angle you are in relation to him, not the angle that he's attacking from. You know, so I'll show you in the guy in front, you know, that we're all one and I have no weapons. That's enough to convince him not to attack. The guy from the side attacks, which I block, my hands across my chest for no purpose whatsoever. The other guy from the other side attacks, yeah, exactly, I block it that way. And then I go back to the guy in the front who's had time to ponder this philosophical dilemma, and has now decided he wants to throw a punch at me, you know. So, but a better way of looking at it, which is in line with what the old masters told us, is a wedge, a raid. I know what that is. This time I move to this side, and I'll strike at the neck. So the hand's actually doing something. If I felt the other arm would move, I'd say, right, this is the way I want to go. Is everyone okay with that idea? So for the moment, you can go either way, and then we're going to have to pick a side to drill it. But your partner swings in his shots, wedging through them, sorry, swings it wherever he swings in, back from there. As soon as I feel it, this is the arm I fell. So I move off this way and impact. Yeah. Everyone okay with that? Awesome. Okay. I mean, you can both sides, but for the sake of learning the drill, I suggest you pick one side and stay on that, you know, and then you can flip it over to the other side later. So I've wedged in, I've moved through here, I've hit this arm. So I imagine the next discussion, right, I'm here, Sensei, I understand I can continue to hit him, I can impact from here, I can escape, but what else? Well, you've got his arm, all right, you know, and learning to control the limbs is key. If you look later on in the kata where we've got all the throws and locks and stuff, you can't do any of that unless you can control the limbs. You know, so being able to control these arms to stop yourself getting hit and to set up the technique is absolutely key. So it would make sense the kata would teach that first, right? So when we've hit here, this arm's going to go underneath this one for the sake of the drill. The next move in the kata goes back on the centre line. So what it's telling us is, because it's return at the centre line, is you must be in front of the enemy when you apply this technique. Okay, so you're in front of the enemy. Your to his left, your to his right, depending, you need to be back in front of the enemy. Is everyone okay with that? Some styles have the hands different ways. So when I've gone there, I take this arm underneath and I move across, keeping in contact with it, moving back in line with the enemy. As I do that, this hand comes to the elbow and I end up here. Okay, so it's the same as the kata. The hand either goes on closed or open, depending on the style. So it's either grabbing the head and pulling it back. If the hair was long enough, you could use that, or you can hook under the nose. Or if you do the pushing version, you just put the hand straight out. Okay, and then from there you can impact. Alright? So what the kata's doing is it's saying, right, once you're there, bring this arm around because you'll find the head. So at the moment I haven't employed the lock fully, and let's say Neil had resisted and hadn't gone forwards, it doesn't make any difference. I'll just follow the line and then I can hit, it'll find the head. Because as much as that bit can move more or less anywhere, this bit's always right next to the head. So if I've got hold of the wrist and the elbow, I know where the head is. Yeah, so that's it. So it swings in from there. I've got my move to there. Here, find the head. Boom, I can get my next shot in from there. Everyone okay with that one? Yes. And then we can do more stuff, all right? Okay? So we'll move through, we'd hit, we'd move around, we'd follow the head, and we'd impact. Right? You can then say the next sequence, you know, from here, it maps out a load of options. But we're going to put all those options end to end so we can keep the idea of just drilling it in one continuous motion. So once you've got to there, and I've gone from there back, what Neil's going to do is he's going to spin out of it and throw a shot towards my head with that hand. Is everyone okay with that one? When that shot comes in, I just want you to parry it across. Alright, so you just end up on the outside of it. Yeah. Right? So the idea is, again, so we start off 1, 2, 3, 4, you swing the shot with that hand, parry it across from there, and you're ready for the next bit. Be a straight shot or an arcing shot. If it's a straight shot, then from there again you can just parry straight off. So an arcing shot, you can either swing on the side of it and do it if you want, or you can stop it. If it's an arcing shot, you can stop it on the inside and then pass it. You can use any movement you want from there. But the idea is just so we get the other arm. So we're there, here, come to there, here, and I'm ready to do some stuff on that side. Is everyone okay to give that a go? Ourselves doing that. So we've gone, we went there, we moved here, we went from there to there, the other do his next shot, then we went to here. What I want you to do then is, just like the kata does, is you step out. Okay, so you're going to take your weight into it. So we're just looking at the first part of the soft uki or uchi-uki or uri-uki or whatever you call it. So the first time we did the arm lock, if you like, we were just using it to find the head. Now we want a response. So to get that response, we step out. Okay, so I'm getting more weight than I'd like on the back of his elbow joint to take him down. Again, from there, again, you can finish straight away. But for the sake of our drill, we don't want it. We want to keep on going. So everyone have an idea? When you take your weight out, one really important thing, which we're going to talk about more, is you should always try and keep your enemy on your attack line. So imagine a big thick line coming out your shoulder blades. He always needs to be on that line. But ideally, I want to be off his. Right? Because everything about the human body, both eyes and the front of the head, everything's designed to go forward. So if I'm here, I'm in a great position to attack. Neil's not in such a good position. So when I've gone there, same again, see the attack lines. My attack line is right, still facing him. His is facing the floor. If I step with the other foot, which isn't what the kata does, but I can still get weight to do it, you see, the reason that's wrong is my attack line is now facing away from my enemy. I want to be here, so I can just follow straight on with whatever I want to do. So the drillers, we've got it. Swings a shot in, impact, come over, find the head, impact, comes in that way, push one down and take him to here. And that's where we're starting. So on the final bit, if we've just gone with that arm, we've gone to here. So the way I see this is it's telling us how to control arms, because that's the core skill, right? So one of the skills it's given us is to use the arm to find the head. Another skill it's given us now is to use the arm to cause a pain response to get it to bend. One thing I could also do with that arm is, when I'm on the outside of it, is I can come up underneath it. So I can develop a pain response to firing upwards, which is really useful as a setup for your throws and stuff, which appeal later on in the kata. You know what I mean? You hit him on the back of the arm, he shoots up in the air, he's off balance.
You do that again on a bit more stable. I like that.
You like that one, I do? Yeah. So if I end up on the outside, like for example, later on in the kata you've got this and this. So if I wanted to, so that's a throw followed by an attack to the joint, right? So if I've got to the outside of the arm and I've popped it up, so I'm going up underneath it, this will cause that response. So then, because I've learned how to, this is another skill, what I can hook through and go to there, which is the same part of the kata. I can step around to take it on here, go down to there, arm goes underneath like the kata does. You know, suddenly go against the joint, you see. But I won't be able to throw him unless I can set his balance up and get the right grips. Yeah. So the kata teaches that first and then moves into that. So there's a little aside, but you get the point, right? The easy way to do it is once you pop him up to here, slap him in the face. Because you get that lovely timber effect, you know, it comes right up in the air and then whoosh, and over it goes, yeah?
But if you're up there for the ball.
Yeah, it doesn't look as nice, but it'll do. So we're down here. In a real fight, you'd never take him down just to bring him all the way back up, but we're just mapping out options, right? So if we're going to do this, we've got to do it right. So what we don't want to do is take the arm off and then lose all control. So my arm here stays stuck to it. So it pivots around Neil's arm, yeah? So it does this. What it then does is I torque this arm like a motorcycle. As this arm rubs against it to turn his elbow upwards. And then I come up through, using my hip, keep the thing the same, I just drive it from here. There's the first half, there's the second half. So I see those being taken down or bring him up. Obviously for the sake of the drill, we're doing taking down and bringing him up. But you never do that in reality. You never get a technique to work that well and go, do you know what? Although that worked perfectly, I've changed my mind. I want him all the way up here. But it's just a way to practice the two options. So again, so we start here. So swung in, we hit, we moved off, I found the head, and hit, he comes in the next shot, I move there, take him down, I move through, I bring him up. Is everyone okay with that? For now. Yeah. And we're just following the kata exactly, and it's teaching us how to manipulate the arms to get the responses that we want. Okay, awesome. Let's have a little go. So it's just another kind of skill that we need when learning to control limbs. If we're on the outside, we need to be able to come in. If we're on the inside, we need to be able to come out. So we need that ability, basically, to arm drag it in a very simplistic way, right? So where we finished off on that particular sequence, it rolled round and took him up to here. If we're following the kata through, I'll do it straight through first, and the kata catches the arm, pulls through and impacts towards the body. Right, so it goes there, and comes back up here. So the mechanics of doing that is flop this hand over so my little finger is on the far side of your partner's arm. Is everyone okay with that? Right? Yeah, then use that hook to pull it through and keep my thumb out until it comes close to my body. Once it's on the side, you snap, that's when it goes shut. It's easy as it looks, to here, so I know when it snaps. I want it close to my body. If I do this, you know, the arm's way out here, then yeah, I've opened him out, but he's got as much control over my arm as I have over his. Do you know what I mean? If he moves his arm from there, mine will move and all kinds of things can happen. If I pull it straight to my hip from there, I've got a lot more control over him than he has of me. Now, in the kata, he does a body shot here. And to me that seems fairly logical because I've got the wrist, and in the rough and tumble of a fight, the only thing I know exactly where is the wrist. So I think the kata's saying aim for the big thing. You know, floating ribs, solar plexus. Yeah, to hit the head there, it could be anywhere. You know, so it's easy to do it static while we're still, but if we're moving at speed, you know what I mean, I could easily miss it. But, you know, but the idea of boom, I'm going to hit the body. Is everyone right with that? So you could decide, you know what, I know that's a better shot, so I'll gamble. Right? Or you could play it safe. Right? So anyway, so the kata's we've got again now, if we start on that side, we move in, we impact, we come round, we find the head, we impact, it comes in this next shot, I'll take it down here, I'll bring it back through, I'll pass them there. Everyone okay with that top line? Again, we're following the kata precisely. Everyone okay to give that a go? Enter there, awesome, pull through, taking it in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to bend the arm. So if you think about it, when you've got hold of the wrist, there's three things you can do with the elbow. You can put pressure on it downwards, you can put pressure on it upwards, and you can bend it downwards. All of those things will cause a change in body position. Bending it upwards doesn't really do much. It can set up other techniques, but on its own it does nothing on its own, right? So it's not included in this sequence. So when I pass the arm through, again I take my weight that way. This is another reason why it's important your hands next to your hip. Because the hands are there and I try and back it, it will slip straight out my hand. Right? Keep it locked in here and step off the side and hit the shoulder. It brings it hit the elbow. That brings that shoulder forwards and that shoulder backwards. Exposed to the side of his neck so I can bring my forearm into here and just club it. Is everyone okay with that idea so far? Right? And again, that will just take him down, bring him back up, pull the arm through, bend the arm, bring the forearm into the neck. Okay, following the sequence. So the full drill, if we're doing it, we go there, here, find the head, it comes into a shot, move there, come through, impact, bend here. Okay, before we do the next little bit. so I'll drop this phrase in because it's important. One of the things with big problems with flow drills is they're enjoyable to do, you know what I mean, and they're very time-efficient ways of practicing. You get a lot done in a short space of time. Where they're problematic, well, they're problematic in two ways. I'm not a big fan of drills that flow back and forth. You know, so I do some moves, Neil does some moves, I do some moves, Neil does some moves. The reason I don't like that is the mindset is incorrect. And the mindset to me is the most fundamental thing. The mindset when conflict begins has to be, it's one-way traffic. This is my fight. You know, he's not going to get to do any techniques because he's going to be so busy responding to Mark.
Sure, so I don't get to go.
You don't get to go. That's right. My seminar, I get to go. Yeah, that's it. So you see on this drill, it's largely one-way traffic as well. Apart from the fact Neil throws a shot to give me the other arm so I can carry on with the kata, he doesn't do a lot, right? The other problem with it though is, with flow drills is, it's not ending. Right? If you think about a real situation, I don't want any flow. What I want is I want him to throw that shot, I want my hands to hit him face, I want to hit him so hard that he falls over backwards on the ground. You know, I never want to be standing there thinking, that's a real shame because I've got 20 more moves I want to do here. You know, you want to drop him as quick as you can. So the only reason, and you've got to be able to flow, but the only reason we want to flow is if what we've done before that hasn't worked. So this is the kind of the phrase I use, is flow is the management of failure. Right? So, you know, so it's a skill that you need if you've failed. So, but it's not something that you want to have because you want to succeed. Is everyone alright with that? Because the danger though, flow is seductive. It's like if you're having a game of tennis and you just go bang and you win with every first serve, it's a boring game for you. The games you like are the games where there's a bit of back and forth and somebody wins. Same with sparring. If you're just beating somebody up, that's no fun for you. You know, the sparring you like are the game is the ones where there's a lot of back and forth and you come out on top. We like flow, we like that interaction, but for self-defense it's the exact opposite of what we want. So yeah, we're flowing and flowing, but flow is the management of failure, right? So we've got back to here. The next move of the form steps up and goes behind. And it's either a side kick or a front kick, depending on which style you do, right? The fact it's behind you means you need to be behind the enemy. That's what it represents. The MB-sen always tells you where you are in relation to them, not where they are in relation to you. Does that make sense? So when the movement goes behind, it's not saying there's suddenly a guy attack me from there, because how would I know? So what it's saying is you need to be behind him. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop that arm and I'm going to step round behind. Is everyone okay with that? You know, wherever behind happens to be, because he would be allowed to move too. Just turn you around there, that's a bit we can see. I'm then going to grab. I can grab with either arm, but the cat assumes I'm right-handed and grabs with the right arm. In shoulder can they have a straight arm and do a side kick. Wada Rushitori, they have a bent arm and do a front kick. It doesn't matter which. In reality, you kick into this joint. For the sake of practice, I'm just going to prop it so I don't hurt Neil's knees, yeah? I'll then pull it, he drops. I would then whack him and then I would move away. If I wanted to end the drill there. But if I have that technique fail, I can continue to flow on with other bits of the kata, which is what we'll have a look at. So if we just start again, so yes, one, here, move through, bang bang, find the head, swings in, we move across, down, up, pass, kick, bend, move behind, take it with your strong arm, take it down, impact, move away, look for the next guy coming in. And that would be the entire kata up to that point. Okay, it's one drill. But if we want to do more, that technique has to fail. Right. You know what I mean? Because when it's on the ground, that's it, it's done. So if we want flow, we have to have failure, which is why they've got to be used sparingly. Okay, let's have that little bit of that. Alright, so we've gone from this other arm to here, to here, to here, to here, to here. We move behind, we take it, right? You're going to try and do that, but it ain't going to work. Okay, because we want flow is the management of failure. So I've gone bang bang. As I go to step around the back of Neil, what Neil does is he steps around with his back foot. So we're here. Yeah, is that alright? So I try to move behind him and he spins the same way, so I'm no longer behind him. What I now want is access to his head again. So just like the kata says, oh, if you can't go behind him, you'll end up in front of him. Right? And they have one arm coming forwards and one arm coming back. So I push that arm off the shoulder, I move through and I shoot up and strike the neck. Right? So trying to go behind didn't work, I had to go back in front and move through here. Is everyone okay with that so far? So if we do the full thing again, one, here, move through, impact, comes into the next shot, move down, bring it up, pass, bang, bang. I try to move around, but he spun off it, move the knife hand and move through. Is everyone okay with that up to there? 2 more moves and that's a quarter of the kata. And it's probably a good place to kind of call time. Was everyone okay with that up to there? You see how I was just showing you? Control limbs, these are all the different scenarios you can work. Okay, let's have a go at this. When you do this drill, there's 2 ways you can use that knife hand. You can either go up the inside of the arm or the outside of the arm. And then depending on looking around the room, I guess half have kind of got like a predominantly Wado background and half have got about a Shotokan background. So when we get to the first nukete in that cat, it'll either be done this way or that way. The way I see this is working is it just depends whether you did the preceding technique on the inside or the outside as to which one of those is relevant. So we'll come to that in a minute, but I just wanted to practice the other alternative now, if you see what I mean. So when I've turned, so I went to turn the around and stepped out from there. Now, one thing is I can just push that in. What I may feel is, at this point here, which would be entirely natural, is for him to try and push that out. Do you know what I mean? So he's kind of wanting to, yeah, he wants his own opening. So rather than try and resist that force, I'm just going to go with it. So I'll take this arm this way. Does that kind of make sense? So it just goes, oh, if that's the way it wants to go, that's fine with me. I'll palm it past. Which stops Neil getting my back, right? As I do that, I catch this arm from there and I move through and strike that way. So you've got an outside version, where we did this, and we've got an inside version, where we did this. Is everyone okay with those two, yeah? So when he spins, we can either go bang, or we can go clash, either one. Is everyone okay with that one? And depending on which one we do, depends on which nukete we then use. Yeah? Is everyone alright with that one? Okay, so just have a look at this one. Depending on which version of knife hand we've done, depends on which nukete we want to do. Right, so in the cat it's shown on the right, you can do it left or right, you know, so the more I'll do it on the left. If I'm getting up with the hand here, so the arm's on the outside, one thing I can do is take this leg behind Neil's leg from there. Right? This hand's got to stay here, and as I move forwards, it'll end up coming towards my hip. You know, like the one that has the hikate on the side. So I'll move my foot behind, and do this. I'm sorry, Neil. And I do that, but with control. so I'm kind of steering through to break balance, right? If I end up on the outside one, I've got here, I'll just keep this hand there, and I'll move forwards and go there. Which would be the Shotokan version, if you like. So either's valid, it just depends where they are. It will either be on this side, in which case it will look like a closed hand on the side, or it'll be on this side, in which it'll look like an open hand on the opposite side. So either's acceptable, right? So as we're doing the drill, we turn and end up here, you just pick whichever one you want to do, right? You move through from there, you move in and you go back, right? Once you've got the balance broken, there's all kinds of stuff you can do from there. But to keep it simple, all we're going to do is then move behind him and go for the technique we tried before but failed. Does that make sense? So just to finish him off. If I'd done the other version where it ended up on the outside, again you step straight across, you're already there. If you're on this one where you end up here, then you've got to drag it or move it somehow. End up behind and take it over. So if we slowly walk through it one last time, so wedge jump, get the eyes if we can, move off, through, find the head in, back, he throws a shot, arm bar down, arm bar up, pass, bend the arm and hit, go to do it, but he stops it. Because he stopped it, we move through from there, we'll do a bit of balancing, and now that I've got him off balance, I'm more likely to get the technique work a second ago, and then move on. Is everyone okay with that? So that's the first KI point of view, like in one two-man drill, and you see what it's predominantly teaching you to do is just basic ways of breaking balance, pull him or slam him, and ways to control him, how to pass them, how to redirect them, how to get various body responses. All the key information you need to make the second part of the kata work. Is everyone alright with that? Okay, awesome. So, I mean, once you've got it, you know, I mean, there's all, you know, the nukete, and then we've got the neck ring throw later on in the kata, and there's all kinds of, we talk about popping the arm, moving for the other stuff. There's all kinds of ways in which it links. But that first little drill on its own gives you quite a lot of the kind of core skills you need before you move on, you see. So the way that, you know, my own dojo that can do that is you can do that little drill, and they can do the first quarter of the kata as well alongside it. So they do the solo form beside the partner drill, and then it cements the two. So when they haven't got a partner, when they've got a partner, they can drill it. When they haven't got a partner, they drill it on their own, and they'll work on the mechanics and the movement, and they're getting used to, you know, remembering every little sequence of it, what directions you need to be, and everything else, you know. So it's quite an effective little way of practice, I think. Is everyone okay with that one? Awesome. Right, what we'll do is we'll have 5 minutes, and then we'll start stabbing each other. Okay?